Okay, assalamu alaikum all. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the metaphysical poem, A Valediction, Forbidding Mourning, written by John Donne. One of the prominent poets, metaphysical poets, John Donne. And what is the meaning of valediction? Valediction means? Farewell. Good. Farewell and forbidding mourning. Here, from the title, we see that the poet John Donne, he is telling us that he is forbidding he is forbidding to mourn at the departure. That means he is telling that not to mourn, not to cry, or not to express too much emotion while departing from each other. Okay, so here John Donne, the lifespan of John Donne is 1572 to 1631, and you know that metaphysical poetry, most of the metaphysical poets, they were in the 17th century, and he is leading metaphysical poet, and the metaphysical poetry is known for the combination of intellect and emotion in poetry. You know that in novel, short story, or in poetry, there is emotion. Emotion is there, but what is the difference? In the metaphysical poetry, there is intellect also, and there is extraordinary metaphysical concepts have been used, and extended metaphors also. So, and the themes of the poem is love, faith, death, and spirituality. Okay, so when the poem begins, look at the text of the poem. A valediction forbidding mourning. Okay, we see in the first lines, as virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, some say no. So, at first the poet is comparing the departure with passing away. That means one type of death, and virtuous means, that means the noble person, the good people, when they depart or when they go somewhere to travel from their near and dear ones. Okay, now the background of the poem. Look at this poem was written. This poem was written in 1611 for Donne's wife and more before his journey to France. So the poet John Donne, he was going to France, and during the departure, okay, he asks his wife not to mourn too much, because he thinks that the showing of emotion is not good at all, is not expected at all. And you told that yes, valediction means farewell, and Donne urges his wife not to mourn their temporary separation. He is telling that he is going outside. This is a temporary separation, but they are spiritually, they are connected to each other. And this poem symbolizes spiritual and intellectual love beyond physical presence. So this is the more important theme of the poem, that is spiritual connection, which transcends the physical bondage or physical presence. Donne compares their parting to a peaceful death. We see in the beginning of the poem that virtuous men mildly pass away. True love, the poet thinks that true love is beyond physical contact and unchanged by distance, uses metaphysical concepts. I have already told you that in this poem, the metaphysical concepts of compass has been used, and to explain their bond, to explain their physical, spiritual bond, ends with the image of the compass symbolizing unity in separation. It symbolizes unity, the image of the compass. Okay, so think of the compass. In the compass there is two foots are there, one is fixed and another is moving. Okay, so this fixed foot is symbolic of his wife's love, and the moving foot is the poet himself or the speaker himself. So he believes that their love is the unity in separation. Now come to the themes. Spiritual versus physical love, love that transcends body and senses. So senses, we know that we have five senses. We have five senses, that is the eyes, visual, yes, then air, then mouth or taste, then yes, taste, then touch, yes, smell, another is smelling. Okay, fine. Then constancy in love, emotional and moral steadiness, constant. Though they are separate from each other, but their love is forever constant. Separation and unity, physical distance strengthens spiritual connection. The poet believes that their physical distance, that means their physical separation, it is stronger and it strengthens, it is more, it makes the spiritual connection more stronger, makes the spiritual connection stronger than ever. Faith and devotion, this is the one of the core themes. Faith, trust in each other's souls. So trust is the one of the major components of longer lasting love, a relationship. Now key imagery and symbols in the poem. Peaceful death compared to calm separation. So in the poem, that virtuous men pass mildly away, that means very silently they pass away, that means their departure is very silent, calm and quiet, isn't it? There not too much chaos, too much crying or screaming, very mild, soft. Yes, okay, yes. Next, that is compared with calm separation, calm and quiet, silent separation. And gold beaten to thinness. Love expands without breaking, without any interruption. And compass, that is lovers' souls are connected, one moves and the other leans and follows. So okay, I have already explained you the metaphor of compass, and this is very important and very significant metaphor in this poem. And tears and sighs, seen as profane or worldly expressions. So the poet, he thinks that tearing and sighs in the departure, during departure, it is very worldly expressions and meaningless and pointless also. So no need to cry, no need to show your expressions among the common people. So you need to be very much silent, calm and quiet. Now, the poetic devices, that means the literary devices used in this poem. Metaphysical conceits, that means unusual comparisons such as the compass, the imagery of compass. Alliteration and imagery. Alliteration means that the repetition of consonant sounds two or more times. This is called alliteration. And the tone of the poem is calm, reassuring and spiritual. These are one of the major tones in the metaphysical poetry is the spiritual love and the relationship, and very much calm and quiet and silent. Now, come to the analysis of the compass concept, because this is the major metaphorical conceit is there. The compass represents two souls as one. One foot remains fixed, the wife's soul, that is the fixed foot, the wife's soul, and the other draws a cycle and returns. This is the poet's soul. So two souls in one compass, and this symbolizes a balance, loyalty, and reunion. Yes, and it connects with the faith and devotion also. Without trust, you can maintain the constancy of the love cannot be maintained. Okay, now interpretation of the poem. So here we see that John Donne redefines love as spiritual permanence, not physical presence. This is one kind of definition of love according to John Donne, and the poem reflects metaphysical wit and intellectual argumentation. So you see that the imagery, the comparison of the compass, this is one kind of intellectual. And when he says that the virtuous people mildly pass away, this is another argumentation. You can argue, you can express your own opinions also. And this poem suggests mature, sacred, and eternal love. Eternal love that is evergreen and forever. Okay, now in the conclusion, a masterpiece of this poem. The poem, a valediction forbidding mourning. A masterpiece of metaphysical poetry. This poem is the masterpiece, that is the classic. In our student life, we also read this poem. And this poem celebrates love's purity and constancy. That means consistency in life. True lovers are never truly apart. Their souls remain one. That means the total spiritual love just reflects the reunion of the souls of the lovers. This is the main theme of the metaphysical poetry, and the metaphysical poets, they are just depicting, they are portraying this spiritual love, following or maintaining or describing lots of metaphorical conceits, and metaphysical conceits are there, and you have to analyze the metaphysical concepts in your own way, or you have to just describe the compass imagery and the spiritual reflection of the true lover's love. Okay, so this is our total just summary of this poem, and we want to wrap up. And if you have any questions or queries, you can ask me regarding the imagery or the used in this poem or any other things. Any question? No? Okay, so in this way we can end